Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be going through a gentle yoga class with some hip opening and twists. So go ahead and start in a child's pose. You're going to be on your mat with your big toes touching, knees out as wide as the mat. If this is uncomfortable for the knees and you have a blanket or a pillow to put under your hips or behind the backs of your knees, you can go ahead and do that as well. If the head doesn't reach the ground, you can go ahead and put a pillow or blanket under the head as well. And then just take a couple deep breaths here, filling the body with breath in, and then sighing it out, letting it go. Let your eyes gently close. Allow your arms to reach towards the top of your mat. And as we're here in this extended child's pose, try to find some rest, some calmness. Maybe allowing the mind to start to quiet. Manny, go lay down. And then as we start to deepen our breath, go ahead and walk your fingertips a little bit further away, so more towards the top of your mat. And as you exhale, allow your hips to reach more towards your heels, creating length on the side body. As we're here, we're thinking about pressing the pads of the fingers down into the mat. So you're going to spread your fingers wide, really grip the mat with the pads of the fingers, starting to really wake up the arm. And as you press your hands down, so you can reach your forearms away from your mat. So if your forearms were down on the ground, so you can lift them up. And on your exhale, try to soften the space between the shoulders. We'll just be here for about 5 more rounds of breath. Know that this pose is always available to you if you need to take a break or just reconnect. On your next inhale, make your way to a tabletop position. So hands are going to come under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. And so taking a peek at our hands, look to have your fingers spread really wide and then your wrist crease parallel to the top of your mat. So maybe for you that means to turn your fingertips kind of pointed towards the corner of your mat. And as you press your hands down, think about spinning the backs of your arms back towards your knees. So the triceps are back, the biceps are wrapping forward. And then start to really open the chest, draw the shoulders away from the ears, keeping length through the entire spine. You're in a nice tabletop position. And then take your awareness to your feet. See if you can spread all of your toes and really press your toes down into the ground. Maybe you feel a stretch in the front of the ankle or the arch of the foot. Really feel the floor here. So as you're pressing down, you start to wake up the core. Navel's drawing up towards the spine. All right, so a nice tabletop position. From here, we'll go into cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop your belly. Slowly start to allow the heart to melt forward. Think about broadening through the chest, lifting the heart up. And then as you exhale, press into your hands, tuck your chin to your chest, cat pose. Inhale for cow pose, just moving nice and slow. See if you can allow each vertebrae to move on its own. Exhale for cat. Maybe the eyes are closed here. Just listening to what your body needs. And just allowing the upper back to really bend here, not the neck. So not dropping the head back. And maybe you add in other movements. Maybe you look over your shoulders, make circles with the hips, whatever feels good here. We'll be in this position for about 5 more rounds of breath. So take your time to kind of explore the body. If you wanted to shift back into your child's pose, that would always be available. And just notice how the wrists are feeling here. It's normal if you're having a little bit of uncomfortable feeling. You can always sit back on the heels, take a couple rolls to the wrists. And then after your last cat pose, you're gonna come back to your tabletop. Nice flat back. We're gonna do our opposite arm here. So you're gonna extend the right leg straight behind you with your toes down. Heel is up towards the ceiling. And we're looking to have our hips side by side. So to drop this hip down, think about spinning the inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Good, and then lift your navel up towards your spine here, beautiful. Imagine you're trying to press your heel into the wall behind you, and you're trying to touch the crown of the head in front of you. Good, one more deep breath. And then as you exhale, extend the left arm forward, finding a little balance here. And then see how much longer you can grow on the side body. Reach your hand forward more, reach your heel back more. Lift your navel up towards the spine. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, hand and knee come down. Resetting on the other side. We'll inhale, extend the left leg straight back. Flexing your foot. Toes are pointed down. You're double checking, making sure the hips are side by side. So the left leg will tend to lift the left hip a little bit higher. Draw your navel up away from the floor. Extend through the crown of the head. Then as you inhale, right arm reaches forward, nice and slow. Trying to grow long on the right and left side. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, come back down. We'll find an extended child's pose here. Big toes together, knees wide, hips back. And this time, maybe you turn your palms facing up towards the sky. Just noticing the difference here. And then returning your hands back down. We'll come back up to that tabletop position, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then we'll tuck our toes here. On an inhale, knees are gonna hover the floor. Just think 2 inches here. All right, so still trying to think of pressing the hands down. Triceps are spinning back towards the hips. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. Slow exhale. And then lower to your mat, extended child's pose. Maybe tinting the fingers here in this child's pose, walking the fingers further. And then coming back up to that tabletop one last time. Knees are gonna hover the floor. So on your inhale, knees hover the floor just about 2 inches here. And think about trying to rip your mat apart, all right? And then try to scrunch it together. So your hands and feet are trying to really pull the mat towards one another. And then try to rip it apart. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And take what you need here. If you need to adjust your hands or feet, maybe you want to go a little bit longer. Maybe you want to bend the knees. Just whatever feels good in your body, and then we'll start to settle in. So still gripping the mat with the pads of the fingers. Okay, using the upper arms to really try to draw weight out of the wrists. And then you're just gazing back towards your inner thighs. Maybe you shake your head yes and no. Just letting the spine relax here. And it's okay if the heels don't reach the floor. You can keep a nice bend in the knees. And then on your next inhale, shift forward to your plank. Take your time. So in plank, you're looking for hands under shoulders. You're looking for the heels over the ball of the feet. So if you need to adjust your stance, make it longer or shorter, go for it. Modified, you can lower to your knees. We only have 2 more rounds of breath here. Keep pressing your hands down. Good. One more deep breath in. On your exhale, slowly lower to the ground. Maybe go knees, Bend your elbows back behind you and find your way onto your belly. Release the tops of your feet down. All right, we're gonna bring our arms beside the ribs here, okay? Draw the elbows together, keeping the feet and the legs on the floor. On your inhale, start to peel your heart off the mat. Just the heart and the chest. And then as you exhale, come down. We'll do that 2 more times. As you inhale, lift up. On your exhale, release down. Last time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Good. 1 breath here, inhale. Then as you exhale, extended child's pose. Hips reach back over the heels. Press your hands down. Inhale, downward facing dog. So taking your time to find your downward dog again. On your inhale, gaze towards your hands, bend your knees, and then take as many steps as you need to walk to the front of your mat. Finding a forward fold, just letting your head hang. And here in this forward fold, take a look at your feet. Find the outer edges of the feet parallel to the short end of your mat. And then lift up your toes, really spread them wide. And take your time to see if you can bring 1 toe down at a time. Finding all 4 corners of the feet. So pressing the big toe mound down, pressing the pinky edge side of the foot down, driving the heels into the floor. And then we'll grab opposite elbows here for ragdoll. So just letting the head hang, looking to have the ears in between the biceps. Coming back to the feet, keep the grounding in the feet, and then maybe add some movement, shaking the head, maybe rocking side to side. Not being afraid to move here. And then slowly release your elbows. Let your hands come down beside you. On your inhale, hands come to your hips. You're gonna draw your elbows together. As you exhale, rise all the way up. Nice and slow, keep pressing the feet down. Taking your time to stand nice and tall, arms come down beside you, mountain pose. Maybe the eyes close here. Starting to feel the energy from the grounding of the feet. Slowly traveling up through the entire body to the crown of the head. Now as you're in this pose here, really try to broaden through the chest. Opening the heart. And then notice if the ribs in front poke out when you do that. So you can kind of knit those ribs together. Take 1 more deep breath in. Soften the face as you exhale. On your inhale, reach your arms overhead, upward mountain pose. Keep your gaze straight ahead at the horizon. So our arms are just reaching up beside us. All right, we're coming back down to the feet. Press your feet down and see if you can grow a little bit taller through the side body. 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, arms are gonna come out to the side. You're gonna bend your knees and dive forward. Release your head. On your inhale, halfway lift. So find a flat back. Maybe if you have blocks, you use them here. Or maybe your hands move up your shins. So keeping this position here. Think about lengthening the side body, lengthening the cervical spine, so maybe the gaze comes down. And keep your legs active here. Keep pressing the feet down. Take 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, fold. Release your head down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands to your hips, inhale. Slowly exhale, rise all the way up. Releasing your arms down, mountain pose. On your inhale, reach your arms overhead, upward mountain pose. Keep the gaze straight ahead here. Resist the urge to look up. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, split the arms, dive it forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe find your blocks under your hands. Holding here for the exhale. Nice deep breath, inhale. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands to your hips. Press your feet down. Exhale, rise up. Mountain pose, arms are down. We're gonna add on. Inhale, upward mountain pose, arms reach up. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands under your shoulders, step back to plank. So finding your plank position, if you're on your feet, your heels are over the ball of the foot. If you're on your knees, your hips are falling forward still. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Elbows point back behind you. Take your time. Release the tops of the feet. Hands move back beside the ribs. Inhale, cobra. Feet stay down. Exhale, release. Once more. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. And then take your time. Find that extended child's pose. Taking a couple deep breaths here. On your next inhale, downward facing dog. Alright, so from downward facing dog, you're going to inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Finding a three-legged dog here. And then always come back to what's touching the mat. So press your hands down. See if you can really draw your chest back towards your thigh. Keeping the shoulders squared here. And then in this three-legged dog, you're still looking to have the hips side by side. You have one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly step your foot between your hands. Doing what you need to get it there. And then maybe a little wiggle, a little rock forward and back. Just checking out what's going on in the left hip. And then check for alignment of your front knee over your ankle. If you need to go a little bit longer in your stance to get that alignment, go for it. And then you're going to release your left knee down to the floor. And as we're in this position, maybe you have your toes tucked on the back foot or tops of the foot down, whatever feels best in your body. All right, start to really lengthen through the chest, lift the heart. Squeeze the hips together here, and then inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Just letting the hips fall forward. And then you'll bring your right hand to your hip. Slowly start to lift up and over through the left hand. And as you're in this side body stretch, maybe start to lean back just a little bit. And breathe. One more deep breath in, both arms reach up towards the sky. Then as you exhale, frame that front foot, you're gonna step back to your plank. All right, so maybe I'm on my toes, maybe I'm on my knees here. Taking 2 more rounds of breath in your plank. One more deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips reach up and back. And then on your inhale, lift your left leg. Good. So taking your time, come back to your hands, press your hands down, draw your chest back towards your thighs. Length on all sides of the body. One more deep breath in, and then slowly step your foot between your hands as you exhale. Take what you need to get it up there, and then maybe rock forward and back a little bit, just checking out the hips. And then on your next exhale, we'll release the right knee. You can keep the toe tucked or release the foot. Start to let the hips drop forward, keep bending the left knee. And then on your inhale, both arms reach up overhead. Taking your time, left hand comes to the hip. Squeeze the hips together and then reach up and over with the right arm. And then maybe lean back just a little. On your next inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, plant your hands. You're going to step your back foot forward and fold. And then here, we'll go a little bit wider than we were before. All right. And then you're going to grab your big toes with your peace fingers here. All right. Take a big bend in the knees. On your inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your back, draw your heart forward. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides of the room. Release your head. Keep pressing your big toes down into your mat. On your inhale, halfway lift. Come to your flat back. Draw your heart forward. As you exhale, fold. Bend your elbows. Press your feet down. And now here in this forward fold, think about reaching your shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly squeeze your sit bones together and try to lift them up towards the ceiling. You're going to be here for 3 more rounds of breath. Maybe you shake your head. Maybe you exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, release your bind. Exhale, let your head release. Hands come to the hips. Draw your elbows together. Inhale, slowly rise up. Coming back to your mountain pose. Feet come together, arms down beside. Inhale, upward mountain pose. Arms reach high. Maybe the gaze starts to follow the fingers. Think about lifting up through the chest. And then as you exhale, split your arms, dive it forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, find your flat back. Exhale, step back to your plank. Good, you can always be on your knees here. Inhale, shift the crown of the head forward. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. So elbows are bent. Think about reaching your hips up towards your bottom ribs. Beautiful. On your inhale, upward facing or cobra. So upward facing dog, I'm going to press the tops of my feet down. I'm going to lift my thighs up away from the floor. Draw my pelvis through. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. All right, so setting up your lunge again. Draw your inner thighs together. Inhale, crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Lift the chest. And then we'll bring our hands to our pelvis. Take a bend in the back knee. So the left knee is going to have a little bend. And then we'll hold here. And think about lifting the front of the hips up. Good. Keep that there. Inhale, reach your arms back overhead. So as we're here in this crescent lunge, maybe you start to straighten through the left leg a little bit more. Maybe you start to bend through the right knee a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. All Great, you can always be on your toes or your knees. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Hold on your inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it between your hands. Pausing here. Inner thighs draw together. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms reach up. Awesome job. And then bring your hands to your hips. Take a bend in the back knee. And then lift the front of the pelvis up. Good, keep that there. Keep lifting up through the front of the pelvis. And then return your arms overhead. Maybe start to straighten through the back leg. Bend a little bit more into the left knee. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands. Step it forward and fold. All right, so taking the feet wide as the mat. And then we'll bring our left hand to the center, maybe to a block or the floor. Slowly taking a twist here. So we'll inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. And in your twist, you're looking to have your sit bones side by side. So maybe you have a bend in your knees. Maybe you come up and out of that left hip a little bit. And then keep extending through the crown of the head. It's trying to reach the wall in front. Shoulders draw away from the ears. On your exhale, release your hand down. Take your time. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Always checking back with your sit bones. On your exhale, release your hand. Take that twist one more time. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Maybe gazing up towards the thumb. Release as you exhale. Inhale, left arm lifts. Bring our hand over the nose. And then release. We'll bring our hands to our hips. Bend our knees, find that flat back, and then rise nice and slow. Good, and then you can find your mountain pose. Going back to your breath. On your inhale, upward mountain pose, maybe taking a slight back bend or pressing the palms together. On your exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. So as you inhale, lift your right leg, nice and slow. And then we'll slowly bend the knee. Take your time, lift your knee higher, and then bend it a little bit more. Beautiful. And then start to lift the knee, start to stack the hip open. And then come back to your hands. Press your hands down. Keep your shoulders square. Chest is working back towards your thigh. On your inhale, step your right foot between your hands, coming back to that lunge position. All right, finding life. Inhale, crescent lunge. Hands to your hips. A little bend in the back knee. Lift the front of the pelvis up. And then on your inhale, reach your arms high to the sky. So we'll keep the bend in the back knee this time. And then as you inhale, you're going to reach your left arm forward and slowly reach that right arm back behind you. Good. Keeping the hips side by side. As you inhale, draw your navel in. And then as you exhale, maybe take your gaze towards your right hand. Keep reaching that left arm forward like it's going to tap the wall in front of you. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, left hand finds the floor, right arm reaches up towards the sky. So as you're in this twist, start to really extend through the left heel, maybe straightening the knee. And then work the right hip back. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, plant your hand, stepping back to your plank. Pausing in plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Really open through the front side of the body. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Take your time here, bend your knee. Lift your knee higher. Bend your knee more. Beautiful. And then from here, start to lift that knee up, 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 up. Start to open the hip. And then come back to your hands. Press your hands down. Chest draws to your thigh. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, step your foot between your hands. Pausing in your lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Hands to your hips. Take a bend in the back knee. Lift the front of the pelvis up. Inhale, arms reach back up. And then right arm's gonna reach forward. Left arm's gonna reach back as you take your twist. Softening through the shoulders. Right arm's reaching forward. Inhale, right arm plants beside the foot. Exhale, left arm's in the sky. Maybe straightening the right leg. Extending back through that heel. And then working that left hip back. That left outer hip's working back. Big breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands. Step back to your plank. Optional chaturanga here, or maybe take a child's pose or straight back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, gaze forward, inhale, bend your knees. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, press your feet down, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Great. All right, so go ahead and step wide to your mat. All right, really, really wide, so you're gonna wanna go wider, Bill. Perfect. All right, so outer edges of the feet are parallel to your mat. You're really gonna press them down, down, down. And then bring your hands to your lower back. You're gonna think about working the elbows together here. So see how that opens the chest. Pausing there. So lift your inner arches off of the floor. All right, keep that action there. So pinky edge side of the foot is down. Inner arches are lifting up. Inhale, lift your heart. Then slowly at the hip crease, exhale, start to hinge forward and fold. Press the outer edge of the foot down. Lift your inner arch up. Release the crown of your head down. Manny. And then when you're ready, you can release your hands to the floor. If they can't reach the floor, grab a block. And then walk your hands in line with your feet if they can reach the floor. Manny. And then as we're in this fold, really draw your shoulders away from your ears. Think about bending your elbows, bringing your upper arm parallel to the floor. So it's just like those chaturanga arms. And as we're pressing our hands down, we're really trying to draw our chest back between the thighs. Inner thighs are spinning back behind us. On your next inhale, walk your hands out under your shoulders so you're at that flat back again. And then as you exhale, you're gonna send your weight to the right foot, trying to keep the heel down. The left toes can come up, face the ceiling. Maybe use a block here as well. Or maybe the hands are on the floor. And then we're slowly going to transition to a low lunge on the left side. So you're going to face the back of your mat. If you need to move anything so you can still see, feel free. All right, and then we'll walk our hands inside that left foot. Maybe the left foot comes to the outer edge of your mat. As you inhale, lift your heart, release the right knee down to the floor. Pausing here for a lizard. Maybe you stay right here on your hands, or maybe you use a block. Bend your elbows, come down to your forearms. Maybe you stay. Taking one more deep breath here, softening the hips as you exhale. And then slowly coming back to your hands if you're not already there. Tuck the toe, lift the knee. We're gonna come back to that wide leg straddle. Manny off the mat. Manny, come up over here. All right, so coming back to your wide leg straddle. Same thing, you can bring your hands to a pillow or a block. Squeeze in here. So while you're in this fold, think about lengthening through your chest bone. And then we'll slowly walk our hands back out so they're under the shoulders. On your exhale, you're gonna send your weight over to the left side, sitting nice and low. Toes on the right foot can reach up towards the sky. Just looking to have your heel down on the left foot. Taking your time, slowly finding your low lunge at the top of your mat. And then walking your hands inside the right foot. Taking your time, releasing the left knee. Finding that lizard pose. Maybe staying there. Or using a prop. Coming down to your forearms. Finding more length in the spine with each breath in, softening the hips as you exhale. Taking one more deep breath. There we go, as you exhale. Finding the hands back under the shoulders. And then we'll press back to a downward facing dog. And take the feet wide. Nice wide leg down dog. And then bend your knees a lot here. And just notice how the spine feels now. Just let it kind of hang out. Keep that length. And then slowly start to straighten through the backs of the legs. On your inhale, you're going to take your right hand to the left ankle or outside of the thigh, wherever you can make a connection. And then once you have that bind, slowly start to peel your chest open, taking a twist here. Keep pressing the left hand down into the floor, reaching the shoulder up away from the ground. And then take your time, come back to your downward facing dog. Switching sides, the left hand will come to the opposite ankle, calf, wherever. And then come back, downward facing dog. Bring the feet back together. find your child's pose with your knees together. So slowly lower down. Take your time to find the heels reaching back, or the hips reaching back towards the heels. And just bringing awareness to the lower back. And then as you inhale, come back up to your tabletop. Hands are under shoulders, knees are under your hips. Got that nice long spine from the crown of the head. On your inhale, you'll reach your left arm up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you're slowly going to needle that left arm under, behind the wrist, getting the left shoulder down. You'll reach the right arm towards the top of your mat. If you can't get your head down onto the ground, that's okay. You can grab that blanket or block. You've got a couple options here. The right hand can stay at the top of the mat, or maybe you bring the right hand to the lower back for a little bit more of a twist to the upper back or shoulder. Wherever you are, just keep pressing the left hand down into the floor. Right hand comes back under the shoulder. As you inhale, press back up to tabletop position. How are we doing?
Good.
Right arm reaches up, inhale. As you exhale, slowly needle it under, behind the back of that left wrist. Getting the right shoulder down. If you need anything under the head, go for it there. And just taking your time. Really reaching the left hand forward, maybe tinting the fingers here, or same option, maybe the left hand finds the lower back, starting to work that left shoulder over the right. Really pressing the back of that right hand down into the floor. And then left hand comes under the shoulder. Coming back to your tabletop position. And then from tabletop, you're gonna walk your hands for puppy pose here. So puppy pose, we're trying to keep our hips over our knees. And then just walk your hands as far forward as you can. Maybe you bring the forehead to a mat, your mat or a block. Or maybe you can bring your chin to the floor. And just take your time, because you're gonna start to open in this pose. So maybe you start with the forehead down. When you start to feel some more length and opening, maybe you lift the gaze towards the hands. Taking 2 more rounds of breath here. Think about reaching your inner thighs back behind you. And then slowly, hands walk back. You can press back to a child's pose, whichever kind feels good to you. Keep the arms forward. And then we'll slowly swing ourselves around to a seated position. So finding Sukhasana, easy pose with your ankles crossed. Looking to sit up really tall here. So if you need to sit on a blanket or your block to do so, go for it. And then we'll find our hands down. Maybe our palms are up. Maybe our hands are together in our lap. Just whatever feels good. Maybe even prayer pose with your hands at your heart. We'll just close our eyes here, back to our breath. Keep rooting down into your sit bones. Notice the outer edges of the ankles, what's touching the ground. On your next inhale, we'll reach our arms up to the sky. And then as you exhale, you'll twist to the left. And then as you inhale, reach your arms back overhead. As you exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. We're gonna hold it this time. So left hand plants behind you, closer, closer. All right, and try not to like twist yet. So just sit up really, really tall. All right, slowly draw your navel in towards your belly button, and then start to peel the left shoulder back. Good. Keep pressing that left hand down. You're trying to have both shoulders side by side, and then maybe start to take the gaze to the left. Trying to sit up as tall as you can here. And as you inhale, gaze forward, arms reach up. And as you exhale, folding over your legs, just letting your heart melt forward, release the head, let the gaze soften. Really breathing into the lower back here. We'll slowly walk our hands back to our knees. We're going to take a little cat-cow action here. So hands on your knees. As you inhale, lift your heart forward. As you exhale, tuck your chin into your chest. Cat-cow. Bigger than that. Like really big. Exhale, tuck your chin. Round, round, round. 2 more. Exhale. Really pulling on your shins. Inhale, cat. Exhale. And then come back to that neutral spine. We'll bring our hands behind our hips. Uncross your ankles. Give them a little shake. And then recross your ankles with the opposite leg in front. Come back to sitting up tall, moving with our breath. Inhale, arms reach up. As you exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. This time holding, exhale, twist to the right. So right hand's directly behind you, sit up as tall as you can. And then slowly start to peel your right shoulder back. Navel to spine. Gazing towards the right shoulder. And then see if you can take your gaze off the floor. Inhale, gaze forward, arms reach up. As you exhale, fold over your legs. Head releases. And then slowly walk the hands back. Sit up nice and tall. We'll uncross our ankles. Take your time to roll to your back. Once on your back, slowly bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Maybe rock side to side, massaging the lower back. And then we'll slowly extend the left leg long, just hugging the right knee in. Allow the left leg to find the floor. And then we'll take a half happy baby here. So using the peace fingers to hook the big toe. Or maybe grabbing the outer edge of your foot. All right, allow your knee to travel towards the right shoulder. All right, flexing through the foot. And then see if you can get both shoulder blades down on the ground. side body nice and long here. One more deep breath in. Then as you exhale, hug both knees into your chest, reset, realign the spine, wiggle, wiggle. And then we'll extend the right leg long, hug the left knee in. Take your time to find that half happy baby on this side. Two more rounds of breath in your half happy baby. And then slowly taking your time to bring both knees into your chest. Maybe extending the legs towards the sky for a moment, stretching out the backs of the legs. And then bringing them back in, we'll bump our hips a little bit to the right. And then as you exhale, allow the knees to drop to the left side. Once they find the ground, bring your arms out into a T. Just taking a nice simple twist here. Each breath in, really lengthening through the entire spine. As you exhale, maybe gazing more towards the right hand, or maybe even bending the elbows. Back to your T. Gaze towards the ceiling as you inhale. Knees come back to center. Let your feet find the floor. Readjust your spine. Straighten out. And then bump your hips a little bit more to the left. Knees into chest. As you exhale, let them drop to the right side. Arms out into your T. Maybe gazing towards that left hand. Option to bend the elbows. And slowly coming back to your T. Gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale, slowly come back. And then take what you need, what feels good here. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. And then we'll find the soles of the feet together. Just slowly let the knees fall out. Finding our last hip opener. Maybe the hands are down on the thighs. Just adding a gentle assist here. And still looking for that length in the spine. So the tailbone's releasing towards the heels. The gaze can be soft or eyes closed. And about 5 more rounds of breath here. Letting the shoulders melt away from the ears, crown of the head's extending. And then bring your awareness back to your mat. Use your hands to bring your knees back together. Maybe walk the feet as wide as your mat. Let the knees fall to touch. Just resetting the lower back before we set up for Savasana. So bringing the knees into the chest one last time. Give yourself a nice hug. And then as you exhale, extend the right leg. Leading with the heel, and just let the toes fall out to the side. Extend the left leg long, releasing. Arms can be down beside you. Think about walking the shoulders under the back. Maybe the palms are facing up as a sign of receiving. Or if it feels better to you to have your elbows bent with your hands on your belly. palms down for grounding. And just let your eyes close. Let the breath gently enter the nose, travel through the body, and let it gently release through the nose. Letting thoughts come and go here. Letting your body feel supported on your mat. Just letting the legs be soft as they're melting into the floor. The space between the brows. If there's any tension stored there, just exhale that all away. Let the muscles of the face really relax. The jaw to unclench. We'll be here for 10 rounds of breath. And slowly start to bring your awareness back to your mat. Deepening your breath. Bringing gentle movements back into your fingers and toes. The wrists and the ankles. Maybe slowly turning the head side to side, waking the rest of the body. Slowly bending the knees. Movement back into the arms. And slowly bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself one last hug. And when you're ready, you can roll to your right or left. Find a comfortable seated position. Just coming back to sitting up nice and tall. On your next inhale, we'll reach our arms overhead. As you exhale, slowly guiding your hands to heart center, bowing your head. The light in me honors the light in each of you because it is the same. Thank you so much for allowing me to lead us through our practice. I'm so glad that you joined us. Namaste.